Hello and welcome to helpmewithpcs.com. This tutorial is over securing a wireless home router. We want to begin by opening up an internet browser, and we'll want to type in 192.168. Depending on your router, this will either be .0.1, .1.1, or .2.1. In this case, we want to use .2.1 because it is a Belkin router. Here's a list of common brands of routers and the address that you would want to enter, and the username and password that you'll supply when prompted. This is the administrative interface of our router. We will be setting up our router to have the highest possible security settings, and we'll want to begin by clicking on the Security tab under Wireless. You see it asks for a password, however the default is to leave it blank. It says security mode is currently disabled. We will want to change this because with the security mode disabled, anyone can access our router and use our internet services. So we want to change that to WPA/WPA2 personal. We will now want to enter a password so that anyone with the password can access our router and anyone without it cannot. Okay, and apply changes. We'll now want to click on the panel and SSID link also under the wireless heading. Our SSID is the network name. We can change this to whatever we would like to identify our network. The broadcast SSID is checked. That means that our network name and information is currently being broadcast, so computers in the surrounding area can see our network. Fortunately, we have a password set so they cannot access our network, but they can still see it is there. For added security, we want to uncheck this box. So now our network will not show up on computers in the surrounding area as being an available option. We want to apply changes. Our router is currently restarting. We will now want to click on the MAC address filtering. A MAC address is an identification of an electronic item, whether it be a computer or a router, and they are specific to that one device. Enabling MAC address filtering blocks all other computers that don't have a MAC address that the router already knows of. So we will go ahead and enable MAC address filtering for additional security. So now, the only computer that can currently connect to our network is the one that we are currently on. You can see here that we can add additional MAC addresses or uncheck Enable MAC addresses while we allow a authorized user to access our router and then enable it again, and their MAC address will have been added to the MAC address table on our router. And then apply changes. Our router will reboot. Alright. Now we want to go to WAN ping blocking under Firewall. Block ICMP ping. And for heightened security, we want to make sure this is enabled. Up here, there is some information about specifically what a ICMP ping is that you can read if you also want to. Apply changes. And the router will restart again. We will now want to scroll down and click on the System Settings link under Utilities. This here is the administrative password. This is to get into the administrative interface, which, as we saw earlier, the default password is blank. So we want to change that so anyone who is on our router cannot mess with the configuration. So the current password is blank, and then we will create a new password. And I suggest making this a different password than your password to connect to the router. The login timeout currently is set to 10 minutes. Let's set this to 1 for additional security. That way, if we are doing configuration tasks to the router and simply X out, only after a minute we will be logged out. So anyone that would come to our computer after us could not mess with the configuration. Then we will apply changes, and our router will restart.